Why, hello there, fellow bosons. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Corsair Cove. Episode 4, Supporting the Crew of a New Warship. I have not figured out how to remove this, like, gunpowder from the stocks. I don't know how to, like, dump it, but it doesn't have any gunpowder in it, so it doesn't really matter. Sweet. We have a nice gunpowder production chain. And pretty much the entire production chain is like green efficiency. Even despite distances due to the zip line.
What?
Jetsam. Okay. We can take planks, take booze, take black powder, or take a mix. Totally up to you guys. And yeah, I can show you the path to the gun from the gunpowder to the gun tower. All right, looks like we're just gonna take a mix.
That was a nice adventure.
Okay. As a result, we gained another seafaring point, and I'm gonna unlock the crow's nest. Let's try for a crown port raid. With Teach.
What?
Actually, before I do that, I'm going to return home, because if I sink, I don't want to sink with all my stuff. That would be unfortunate. So at the moment, yes, the gun tower is pulling gunpowder from the wrong storage. So I've corrected it, but it didn't really matter because they don't use gunpowder off. They only use gunpowder when they fire. So they won't request gunpowder until I defend this port from an invader. So the crow's nest gives you coin per discovery event. The discovery event is like exploring the map. I'm not gonna bother. Oh, now there's gunpowder there. That's annoying. Stop it. Okay, this indicator indicates that it's ready to trade. So 100 of the salt out of the 500 that we looted has been moved into the trading post, and I just hit trade, and we gain 10 gold coin. And then they'll just keep restocking it until we're out of the resource. There we go. Now the gunpowder's gone.
Back.
All right, Teach.
Yes.
Let's go raid that crown port.
It's done.
The low-hanging fruit crown port. And that will make your complete events with Teach 3 to 5 and your crown port 1 to 1. There's also building elevators and pillaging your crown port 2. I could, you know what? I could cheese this and just build a whole bunch of pirate camps to fill that in. That might be a good way to get our next ship. So I'm just going to do that because it's pretty simple. So let's build a camp here again. A camp here. The only thing I want to do in this case is make sure that the camps don't open on a new path of attack. Because then when I have that camp, I'm vulnerable to that attack path for the duration that the camp exists. So there's one. There's 2. And this one will be easy because it's done. 3. And that should allow us to get the steel edge once all this is done. Because we'll upgrade our current ship to... we'll upgrade our current ship once this is done to the Iron Fist. The Iron Fist will then trigger the seafaring quest of getting a level 2 ship, which will then unlock the Steel Edge for us, which is a very handy ship to have early game.
This small town has nothing of value, except the pirates being held in their cells. They are ill-prepared for our attack.
Okay. Reduce the enemy base health to 0. So as you can see, they have 17, and we have 24. They're trying an all-out barrage, where they are dealing 6 to 11, but taking twice as much. So what I could do is heavy fire. So we took 3 and they took 10. They're trying to prevent 3 to 4 damage to their defenses. And what I could do is trigger Easy as Murder, gain another die next turn, and if I deal damage, the effect continues. So a rolling increase of die. Perfect. So we are going to heavy fire and keep the die rolling. And now they're at 0.
Give our people liberty, or we give them death.
Crown
They
Port
choose life,
event
I'm
done.
waiting.
Pillage to Crown Port done. Teach is going to return home with 50 more drifters. The 50 more drifters are a bit of an issue only because I'm going to need to feed them. But there we go. Now we just got 2 Empire points. I'm going to get Rock and Roll. Rock and Roll increases the deposits capacity of the quarry and salvage dock, reducing the construction and repair cost by 20%. That unlocks the Iron Fist, and once I get the Iron Fist, I'll be able to finish that seafaring quest. More salts ready for trade. All right, let's get rid of those temporary camps and try to remove all the pathing to them. I mean, it's not super important. I don't pay for the pathing, but still, I don't want to leave it ugly. Don't want to give wooden teeth to my skull rock. Right? And it only cost me planks, and I have like 250, and it cost me like 30 planks to do that. And then I was refunded, so it's like not a big deal. So once Teach returns home, I'm going to upgrade the ship to the Iron Fist, and then unlock the Steel Edge, and then upgrade it to the Steel Edge. So I'm going to have to build a ship to then build a better ship. So it's a bit of a waste, but that's fine.
I'm waiting. Don't get
All right. Upgrade. So as you can see, the Iron Fist is going to require ropes. So I'm going to hit upgrade, knowing that I won't have any ship for a bit. And then I'll also, I had a bunch of drifters drift in, which is great. Just need to build some houses for them. So there's the houses. So for the Iron Fist, it doesn't really matter where the ropes come from. With that said, I'm planning on changing the owned port to this one. And the reason is this has a ton of fertile land. So if I need to make rum for my pickaroons, this has tons of rum room. This has none. Not really, not much. So now this pier is bound to this camp. And as you can see, when I select it, it highlights the camp that it's bound to. So I need to add some more housing. And then I'm also going to need to start making ropes. So a rope maker uses plant fibers, and plant fibers are connected to this thing. So there was a few other plant fibers, but I could have made plant fibers in my original camp, but you know, I'm going to make it here. So we'll do the plant fibers there, and then the ropes next to it. And then we want to deliver the ropes to the warehouse, this one, that stockpiles materials used to support our fleet. So I could do it like that. I know technically the zip line moves through this building, but like whatever, I don't care. All right, and then let's increase housing. Because all of the additional infrastructure and industries are going to require more people to work them. So this area is going to require influx of extra workers. And I'll create another ramp down there. The other thing we're probably going to need is food. You know, another kitchen. So I'll put one just underneath the galley. It has kind of one of these inefficient lift walk things, but it's such a short path, it should be fine. Yeah, as you can see, going up the zip line, not very efficient. Shimmy, shimmy. Mush. And the reason they took that path is that was the only path that existed originally, and then I added a new one. Okay, there we go. So you got a rope maker, and then the rope maker is going to deliver to this warehouse, which supports the ship. So now we're producing the rope needed for this ship. I am not, however, going to produce the food just yet for the crew. We'll get to that. And I fulfilled a notoriety deed, which is to have a big pup.
That's what I like to hear.
Cool. Okay, the ropes are getting delivered. And food is being supplied. I did indeed need the second campfire, so I'm glad I built it. And we're nearly done with the Iron Fist, which is the intermediary ship. And then we'll jump to the Steel Edge. Now this pier still has like a bunch of other random resources that I intend to sell off.
What do you say to this? One teach?
Still too small for my taste, but it'll do against tomorrow.
So there it is. The shallow pier just made the Iron Fist Tier 2 ship.
There's nothing we can't achieve if we...
And if we open up our deeds, I just unlocked Seafaring for catching the wind. I'll just get that. And that unlocks the Steel Edge, which is the Destroyer Plus. So let's go ahead and upgrade this ship to the Steel Edge. Where is it? I might need to scrap it. And because I guess it can't do lateral moves. Alright, that's fine. Dismantle the ship. And build the Steel Edge. Done. So now the Steel Edge just requires more rope. The other thing important to note is now that we have the Steel Edge, we know that we are going to need pickaroons as crew. And pickaroons need a tavern that is supplied with rum. So let's go ahead and set that up. So the way this rum works is you start off with a sugarcane farm, and then you also have a cooper, which takes raw wood. And that means you also need a woodcutter. Now we have a woodcutter up here. So if I build the cooper next to the woodcutter, we can start making barrels here for the rum. And then you eventually get a distillery. So we're going to want to put a sugarcane farm there, let's say. And then a distillery maybe off the back. Use the backside of this mountain. And then the distillery produces the rum, which then eventually feeds to a tavern. So I'm going to have a cliffside tavern over here next to this distillery. Actually, I think it would be really picturesque if it like hung off the edge. So maybe I'll redesign this with like that in mind. I'll put a tavern that overlooks the ocean. One where like if you ever were to actually frequent that, you'd crap yourself from the view, but you know, whatever. So that's the distillery, or that's the tavern. So let's put the distillery here. And the cooper maybe here. And I'll rework some of the paths. And the reason why I'm leaving room is I might want another distillery over there. And then we'll put the sugarcane there. Reworking some of the paths here. Trying to make it look more... Here, I'll do switchback natural. No, no. That's not oh yeah, it's not connected. Not enough space. Fine. Okay. Looks a bit crazy, but it works. And then the only thing not connected right now is the sugarcane, which we'll want to get over to the distillery like that. Wait, that's still not connected? Come on, sugarcane. There it is. Okay. It's quite the production. What this will almost certainly end up doing is raising the population of this camp beyond its current capacity as well, especially once we start employing sailors. So getting even more housing where I am not likely to require industry. So maybe I'll put houses wrapped around underneath that tavern. There we go. Hell of an ocean view. I like it. One of the add bonuses is, you know, if you need a vomit, all you gotta do is go out a window and your vomit gets swept away by the ocean. Alright, the production chains are almost set. And then I'll make sure to have efficient pathing for everything. So, this tavern stocks rum from the distillery. The distillery stocks barrels and not sugarcane yet because that's not built. Mom, build it. Oh, there's the wood delivering it. Oh, and then all the while, the salt's ready to go again. I think we're at last shipment of salt, so let's switch over our exports from salt to booze, because we have just booze in that pier. Okay. So the distillery is getting barrels from the cooper and sugarcane from the plantation. And then the tavern is all set. So the tavern is now being stocked with rum. We have a net positive of rum here in just a moment. And, oh, that's all the booze? Actually, let's drag booze from the other moonshine still, because the other moonshine still in our original camp shouldn't really have any... It doesn't... We can shut this down. This tavern is no longer needed. It doesn't support anyone. Because the problem right now is what's happening is I don't have enough beer to actually sell for more than like... There we go. I sold for 1 coin. That's fine. Alright, now let's pull gunpowder out of the pier. And the steel edges just got built. So the reason for all of that is managing crew. If I had a swabby, we get like no added real bonus. If I had a pickaroon, ooh, stat bonuses. And that's what we're aiming for. So let's put Teach back in.
Who wants to die first?
Into the 2+ ship. And as you can see, it's significantly bigger than the Iron Fist, which was like a dual mast. And then as we gain additional rum available in our stockpiles, we can increase the pickaroons and then send them out. And maybe temporarily, I will just increase all hands for the rum, just so that we can get more pickaroons to get Teach out to the sea. The question I have for you guys is, what is my priority? Do the Empire main mission, unlock the Nodo plus wealth tier 2 plus ship, or explore the map? So the Empire main mission would be a news for Enrique. The Nodo plus wealth tier 2 ship is this one. Or, yeah. Nodo plus wealth would be the Gold Seeker. Basically, have another port and serve as another ship. So this is the Reaver Gold Seeker. Or explore the world. Just do exploration. That'll be up to you.
Yes?
Boom, there we go. A full crew of pickaroons.
Let's get to it.
And as a result, the ship's stats are significantly boosted, as you can see, allowing Teach to rip and tear, or something. We need one more tent to support the pop. I'll build a few more. And then it says that I need rum, but I don't think I do. Trend is plus 7.5. So I might, in the long run, need to unboost. And to get a second distillery and a second sugarcane plantation. One cooper should be enough to supply the barrels for both. And it looks to me like you guys want me to unlock the other type of ship. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing, and that I'm really close to that. I need one more wealth and one more notoriety. So current priority is unlock Gold Seeker and then build a camp to support it. So, one more notoriety. Let's see. Efficient transport routes to the tavern would be really easy to do. And then one more wealth. Build another warehouse. Or complete events with Kanja. Either or. So I'll pin those. So efficient routes to the tavern. I'm going to unlock this tavern again. And then I had just mentioned that I might want a second distillery, because we had to boost our current distilleries in order for it to supply quick enough. So I was already planning on doing this, so like, why not? 2 distilleries, and then this distillery will try to have this not look so unsexy. There we go. And that should satisfy the notoriety. And then, like, for... I could just build another warehouse. Just build a dummy warehouse, and we unlock that. So it doesn't really matter where this goes. I'll just plop it right there. Okay, this pier is empty. So let's go ahead and complete events with Teach. I'm gonna have him go embark to a noose for Enrique.
It's done.
Something for him to do.
What's this? Pirates on the wild island. And pirates with the stones to stand against the crown, no less. The name's Enrique Baguairo. A couple friends of mine have a noose waiting for them at Barbo's Bay. You want power, yes? Leave them, and I'll get you an in with some very dangerous people.
Power, he says. Fine. If he goes back on his word, we'll feed him and his friends to the sharks.
Alright, well, the wealth is already done. So we just need one more point in notoriety for the Gold Seeker, which is the Reaver Plus ship. And then we'll need a whole nother camp to support that, because I don't have another pier. So we'll need to build another camp to claim another pier zone. We'll do that in just a moment. And the efficient transport to the tavern is about to get done. So here's the tavern. And it's going to import rum from here. Finished. So these two are both green efficiency because they were adjacent. So we'll get the Gambler Den. And that unlocks the Gold Seeker Reaver Plus. That part's done.
You came! About time! Now weapons out and help me stop this bloody hanging.
Reduce the enemy's health to 0. So it's trying to deal 23 to 26 to my ship. And let's prevent that damage and deal damage in turn. Heavy fire. Alright, Tides of 8. They gain 2 die. I gain 1. I'm going to do easy as murder to continue to keep my high die as long as I'm firing. Alright, now I deal damage and I block damage, and my ship took a little bit of damage.
Now let's make a break for the harbor. We have to get them to my ship.
Okay, now they're trying to deal damage to my crew. What I could do is I could prevent damage to crew and the gain next turn, or gain distance, and yeah, I'll do this one. Prevent crew damage and gain distance. So 2k out of 3.6. I'll do that again.
We're getting everyone on board. Cover us with your ship.
Now we just need to defend for 3 turns. And let's do safe take cover to prevent crew damage. Because they were trying to harm our crew. Now they're trying to harm our ship. So let's do safe distance. And now they're trying to harm the crew again. So let's go ahead and take cover again.
We made it to sea.
Done. Outcome. We took some ship damage. We used some supplies. But we gained Enrique, a captain. He's an ambitious raider. So he has a raid good bonus for lenses and tobacco of 100%. But has lower speed and maneuverability. And we also gain cohesion. I'm going to return Teach back to port.
We're heading back to the archipelago. These idiots here want to get back to the Tribe Alliance. You hear of them, yeah? The rebellion against the crown. Couldn't care less, frankly. They pay well. Maybe you got bigger ambitions. Maybe you want in. If so, tell them Enrique Baguaido sent you.
We have befriended Enrique. He has contacts with the Tribe Alliance, who are in open conflict with the Crown. We could support them further, play them against the Crown, and make them our engine for power.
So, the tribes finally got their act together. Good for them. And for us, if we can ally with them.
Never took you for a friend of the natives, Teach.
I'm a friend of their hatred. Hatred is power. That makes them the strongest allies we can get.
Alright, let's repair the ship. And one of the reasons why I have rope and wood stockpiled at this warehouse next to the pier is it's going to be really quick to repair the ship. On a recent venture, one of our crew overheard rumors about Amara. Word is she's roaming the island on covert crown business. We can't have that. It's time to go on a prowl for a Spanish hound.
I knew we'd run into her again.
Only now we have the means to fight back.
Oh, true, but I don't like this air of secrecy. The sooner we find her, the better.
Hey, Snoozer and Sammy, thank you for the resubs. Alright. This distiller is going to take cane from here. And that one from that one. They're both taking from the same Cooper. And now, I probably don't need an all-hands-on-deck boost. So I'm going to get rid of the boosting. Because it is unnecessary. Okay, so we're not boosted anywhere. And supply chain is balanced.
What?
Alright, I'm going to do one more event with Teach. Because that gives me an Empire point.
I'm waiting.
Let's have him just embark on exploring this area. And then while we do that, I'm going to set up a camp to support the Gold Seeker ship. And that's going to be a little bit more complicated. So we're going to need another pyro camp. And I'm going to need a pyro camp with a pier slot, which is like that thing, right? And we already know the Gold Seeker requires rum. You know, we had established that. The Gold Seeker has pickaroons. Pickaroons require rum. So I'm going to need the same sort of supply chain that I did for this tavern, which is a rum-based one, which doesn't require anything special. It requires wood. It requires the fertile zone for wood, the fertile zone for sugarcane, and a Cooper, really. Which means I could build it here. The problem with this spot, for instance, is it has 2 incoming points of attack. Which is a little sketchy. Now, what I could do is there is, over in this spot, the potential for 2 piers that only have 1 point of attack. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have you guys vote. If I built it here, the advantage to this spot is I could have 2 ships. The problem is there's not a lot of fertile ground to support the crew. So even if I could have 2 ships, it would be really difficult, supply chain wise, to keep those crew supported with enough rum to keep them happy. So we'll call this option number 1. Where to build camp. Option 1, the double pier but low fertile soil. In order to do that, we would need to maybe import sugarcane from a different camp, or import wood from a different camp, because yeah, there's just not a lot of fertile soil there. Option number 2 would be to place it like here. And the advantage here is it doesn't open up another vector for attack, so we don't need another gun tower. And it does cover this pier here. And it has a decent amount of fertile soil up here to easily be able to support whatever the crew needs. Option 2, mouth of the bay. And just for a third option, we could do option number 3 back here. There's a pier here, obviously. There is another vector for attack, but it does open up sort of like the heart of the island, let's call it. Hold on. I made a typo in my poll. It would help if I didn't have that. So this is option 3, heart of the island. So I'll have you guys choose between those 3 spots. Option 1, the double pier. Option 2, mouth of the bay. And option 3, heart of the island. And teaches out to go survey the Crossbone Keys. There is a scouting vessel out here, though, which we might be able to intercept because his ship is fully supplied and supported. And Green Angel, thank you for the resub as well. I'm not getting alerts. What the heck? My software's on. I don't know what's going on, so I apologize. Okay, I think we're going to go mouth of the bay. I don't think I need to wait too much longer for that. It seems overwhelmingly the popular choice. It is also the easiest choice. It is closest to our current infrastructure and doesn't require its own gun tower. So, let's lay it out exactly how we want it. Just enough, just covering the pier so it's highlighted, right? But not so far out that I need to guard it. So right there seems perfect. And then the pathway I have initially to just build this thing is not going to be kept very long. So I'm just going to throw down some garbage just to be able to get it built. What? No, whatever. It's temporary. I don't really care. All right, that's enough to build it. Cool. Thank you for tuning in to Corsair Cove, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Corsairs.